Hello and welcome back to this channel. So if you are new to this channel, you are watching the first time, please subscribe, share so that many people can gain awareness about how this early childhood trauma has impact, how maybe we can maintain our mental health, how we can heal from these traumas, how we can reclaim our authentic self. So today I will be talking about how early childhood trauma impact across health. Early childhood trauma are those adverse childhood experiences that a child goes through that are very overwhelming, unless with the support of an adult that can help this child to maneuver through. So early childhood trauma impact across health, and I'll be talking about 5 spheres of life that are greatly affected by early childhood trauma, and I will begin with the mental health. When I talk about mental health, maybe what maybe in your mind is about health illnesses and mental health disorders. And so how does this early childhood trauma impact our mental health? Maybe when a child has been exposed maybe to maybe physical abuse, emotional abuse, a child has been sexually abused, maybe to the household struggles, maybe extreme poverty, maybe the exposure to domestic violence, it impacts the mental health of this child, of this person, of this adult, of you that is watching this video today. And so when maybe a child has been emotionally abused, where their feelings are invalidated, they are programmed to suppress their pains, they are programmed to suppress their emotion, and it becomes too much. Maybe a child maybe was sexually abused, they didn't know how to maneuver through, they didn't know how to cope through, they became helpless at that state of abuse, and now they have been suppressing these feelings, they have been suppressing this emotion, and it reaches a point maybe they encounter a major trigger in their life that can trigger all these variant emotion. And this trigger maybe can be, for example, let me talk about the COVID-19 that came, that has caused a lot of damage on our mental health. Maybe when someone has been suppressing this emotion, this pain for a long time, and then there is the job loss, maybe the businesses have been closed down, maybe these people have been taking loans so that they can be able to venture, maybe to do something, and therefore the COVID-19 comes and all this is closed down. They don't know how maybe to get their money. People have lost their job, and when you have something that you can attach value, that give you a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, and therefore that something is removed from your life, then this emotion, this pain that you've been suppressing, they become too much. And when they become too much, these people get depressed, these people start having suicidal thoughts, and you have seen the impact it has caused in the world today. And so this early childhood trauma, when it is not addressed, when a person is taught how to suppress their pain, when a child is taught I'm being sexually abused and I can't able to express my feeling, I can't able to express my heart feeling, then it causes damage in the data future. When you are adulthood, you have these pressure issues, where you have these maybe people tend to have eating disorders. When someone has been sexually abused, sometimes they numb the pain with eating. Some will numb that pain maybe into engaging in sexual behaviors, because child sexual abuse maybe causes people, because confusion about the sexual identity of a person or sexual orientation. A person may be unable to say no to request or demand for sex. So it is good to understand how early childhood trauma impact across life. Another way that early childhood trauma impact is our physical health, our body. When we feel insecure, when you're not safe in forming relationship with others, it start manifesting maybe in form of fatigue. And when you don't take caution, maybe when we assume it is just fatigue, then it keeps on pressing until maybe people have issues with the blood issues, immune system, the skin condition keep coming in, keep reoccurring. You have issues with the bone, you have issues with the joints. And so it is very important to understand that our body keeps the memories of what we have gone through, even though it happened at a earlier stage of at a young age, we may not remember, but our body will keep the memories. Maybe that is where maybe you get near to something that is familiar to what you have gone through when you are a child, and maybe you start feeling the pain, you start maybe trembling, you start shaking. There are those people who say that they don't like maybe a particular perfume, or maybe they don't like to go to particular places. Maybe they have those people who have fear maybe of water. There are those people maybe of fear of high places. What does it communicate? What is it speaking about? What is it telling you about? Why do you fear about it? So when we don't feel safe, when maybe overwhelmed, you're giving too much maybe in a relationship, you're giving too much maybe in marriage, and that thing, and what you're giving is not reciprocated back, then we start to have these tensions in our body. We start experiencing this pain, maybe when the responsibility is so much. Maybe when you have this kind of skin ailment, you have issues with blood, you experience pain, that you have gone to hospitals and nothing is being diagnosed, you have taken all the pain medication, but you don't seem to get well, then address the childhood trauma, address the root causes. And sometimes it is going to get the foundation. Why is it like this? Some people who have throat infection, they are having a recurring throat infection. Those people are not able to express themselves, and what happens, it impacts the system that is maybe talking with sound. So it is very important to address the early childhood trauma. Another way that early childhood trauma impact across health is our intellectual health. Our cognitive development is impacted by the experiences that we encounter. The experiences that you provide for your child are what matters. If you provide caring, loving, and nurturing relationship, that child will have successful intellectual health. But what happens when a child is raised up with a parent that always call them stupid, always call them they can't make it, they don't understand, you just use negative ones to answer your child. Know that the way you're bringing up your child is what matters. If they are not tuned, will be shaky, or if they are not tuned, will be strong. If this child will be successful, or if that child will be a failure. So it is very important to have a choice of words that you use on your child. Understand that it is going to provide loving and caring and nurturing relationship and nurturing experiences to your child, so that it can foster intellectual health. So when you speak these ones to your child, that is how the person acts. The way a person is programmed is the driving force that makes this person to go. That is what drives the person. And maybe I can give you an example. Maybe when maybe you're driving to a particular direction that you're familiar with, sometimes you may be driving, but your mind has wandered away to a far place, but you still know the direction. How do you know that direction? Because it is the programming, because your mind is familiar with this direction. So someone will tend to behave the way they are familiar, or what is familiar. That driving force that is familiar with, that is what is going to be the driving force. So it is very important to understand the foundation matters. The foundation, the experiences they are bringing matters in terms of programming. Another way that early childhood trauma impact across health is our financial health. When I talk about financial health, money matters. What beliefs do you have about money? How did you gain those beliefs about money? How did you come to know that evil people are rich? How did you come to know that money is evil? How did you come to understand that you have to struggle so that you can gain money? You have to work, you have to have sleepless nights so that you can have that money. How did you come to understand that? What beliefs do you have about money? When I talk about early childhood trauma impacting our financial health, I'm talking about how that child has been raised. What has that child had about money? Maybe this child maybe has been brought up by a parent that they have negative beliefs about money. They have negative beliefs about those people are rich. and that is what you are passing on to your child. This child will believe that money is hard to get, so you have to struggle, you have to sweat so that you can get money. That child does believe that people who are rich are evil. To be rich, maybe you have to be doing something illegal. Maybe you have to be join a group that is evil so that you can get money. So these beliefs that a person has been programmed to believe about money to impact their financial health. That is where you grow up as you become an adult now, and maybe you get employment, maybe you are doing businesses because of these beliefs that you have about money, you can't seem to do anything. That is why you see those people who have a lot of money, but they waste their money. They can't seem to do any development. Someone will just live by check to check, because there are those people who get their money today and maybe at the end of maybe at the middle of the month they have nothing left. They have to struggle, they have to take loans, they have to do all kind of things so that they can sustain themselves. So what do you understand about money? What beliefs? When you see someone maybe in the social media posting about maybe their life, what do you see? You criticize them, you judge them, because maybe you believe this someone might not have gotten that money in a better way. How have you gotten to that point? How are you gotten to that point? You can't seem to utilize your money well because you never saw that happening in your family. In fact, you are doing the same thing that happened to your family. The way money was being utilized in your family is how you are utilizing it in your family. There are those people who have money, but they are always going to say there is no money. They have money in their pocket, but they are usually going to say, I have no money. I have no. It is because of this belief, this deep-seated beliefs that they have. That is the driving force. That is what they are doing. That is the mind is being programmed. So our mind gets programmed through the experiences that we pass through experiences that a child is being brought up with, the caregivers. The quality of success of life depends on how that parent-child connection happened. The quality of bond that the parent and the child had, that is what matters. So it is going to address these early childhood trauma. Another way that early childhood impact across health is our spiritual health. We have been brought up by being told that we have to respect our elders, we have to respect our parents. But are we taught how to do when maybe this elder that you're told to respect, that elder is the one that abuses you sexually, that elder might be abusing you emotionally, that elder might be abusing you physically? How are you going to respect them? How are you going to forgive these people? We know when we have these traumas, we have these unresolved traumas, people tend to blame other people for what they are going through. You tend to seek revenge for someone who has hurt you. Maybe you need to understand those people who hurt others. They have unresolved traumas. They are hurt, but they are not able to know how to conquer through. But I'm not giving an excuse for someone who hurt others. They need to understand maybe the way I'm operating is not the right way, and they seek to know what is influencing them. So when you have been taught about, you have been threatened, you have been commanded to do certain things, and these things are the ones that you are told that you respect your parent, but this parent is the one that is causing you issues. Yes, I may understand this person, that parent has brought you to this world, but are they capable parent? Are they parent that can provide love, nurturing, and caring relationship to a child? To forgive people unconditionally. You forgive people unconditionally when you no longer seek to blame, you no longer seek to revenge. You don't forgive and forget. You just forgive for your sake so that you can heal. Because that person that has that you might not be remorseful for what they have done. So it is good to understand how this early childhood trauma, how you brought up, the experiences that have gone through, how they impact your spirituality. When maybe you're in certain maybe religion, You tend to view other people as evil because they don't subscribe to your religion. You tend to think maybe other people are evil. Other people they don't know God. They don't believe in what you believe in. So it is going to understand people have different faith. People and believe in many things, and so we need to live in oneness, because that is all matter. We are one creation, and we need to live in oneness so that we can feel secure, we can feel connected. That's what matters. So in order to heal from this early childhood trauma, first you have to be aware what is influencing you. You have to be aware what is impacting you. That is the first point that you have to understand, so that you can heal. People can heal, and people can change. You can unlearn, you can relearn, and you can transform, so long as you put in the work to do that, so long as you purpose to change, you purpose to break these unhealthy patterns, unhealthy generation patterns. You just stop for a moment and seek to understand what is influencing you, what is happening in your life. Stop for a moment and understand what is influencing your life. So please keep subscribing, keep sharing your comment there, maybe what you'd like me to talk about in the next video, so that you can continue learning, you can continue gaining awareness what is impacting us, because we can heal, we can change, we can transform. Our faith is not fixed unless if you don't put in the work to do what is required to transform, then you still remain in that situation.